Welcome to the Sports History Makers podcast, the show that connects you with your favorite athletes and their favorite sporting memories. On the Sports History Makers podcast, we will relive those incredible events. Here are your hosts, Pete Coley and Collinswood Coley.
Today's guest on the Sports History Makers podcast is one of Jamaica's most successful junior female athletes. She has amassed over 14 gold medals at the CACs and the Caribbean Games. She would go on to represent Jamaica at the Olympics and the World Championship level and was part of the winning 4x100 meters at the Athens Olympics in 2004. She was also part of the successful 4x100 meters in Berlin 2009 World Championships. Help me to welcome multiple Olympian Aleen Bailey to the Sports History Makers podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right. It's our pleasure to have you with us today, Aleen. And, it's been a while since we've seen each other or gotten a chance to talk with each other. So how have you been coping with all this, pandemic and the craziness that's affecting us?
So I've been reading and then working out, gym, exercise. And I have bought me a bicycle, so I bike. And then I go on runs too. So reading a lot. I'm trying to cover like 100 books for the year. I'm on target track so far. Hopefully I can maintain.
All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. How is the biking working out for you though?
It's different. It's hard because I've been trying to do like 10 miles. So it's hard. It's hard on your legs. Because it was that much. And then sitting for that long, sitting for that long, your bottom is sore after you come off the bicycle.
Okay. I do ride every now and then, but mine is for a different purpose. I take my son to school. Here in Japan, we use what we call a mamachali. It's that bike that they carry the kids in. In Japan, it's more convenient.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right. So I ride one of those, and it's pretty small for my height. So it's not the most comfortable way to get it done, but it's the most effective and efficient way to get him going to school and stuff like that. But and you mentioned reading. Is there any particular topics or just reading?
So I read a lot of thrillers, and my next set I want to do is read a couple biographies. So nonfiction stuff and fiction stuff.
Yeah. Anyone in particular you want to catch up on their biographies?
There's so much. I want to do I think I'm gonna start with like Obama's biography, and then I'm gonna jump into like Marcus Garvey.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, because I've been reading a lot. I've been reading a couple of books that civil rights activists here, and I didn't realize that he had so much influence in the U.S. Civil rights activities here.
Yeah, Marcus Garvey did do a lot of work in the U.S. As a matter of fact, I think he did most of his work there.
He got
right. like most of the guys in his time who tried to make a difference, Right. Well, that's nice. That should be a nice read. Before we get into your early track and field days, let's just look quickly on what you're doing now, life after retirement.
So I'm a library assistant at a high school, and I also coach their high school team, and I am taking a test to get into a teaching certification program. It won't take as long as the 4 years. I think it's like a 2-year program. So I'm doing that, but it's centered around like special education. We have a lot of teachers here in the US, but I want to learn from here so I can bring it back to Jamaica because I'm planning on retiring back in Jamaica. Okay. Retire and real retire.
Okay. Back in Jamaica. In
I can bring like the knowledge.
Yeah, in special education, right?
I can bring the knowledge back home so we can better, because I think growing up in Jamaica, kids like those were like ostracized and they were seen as, you know, different.
Yeah, and even if they're not, you know, wouldn't say never seen, but they don't really go to schools, and that's contribute a lot to where we are as a country. You know, we need to provide more opportunities for persons with special needs.
We have, I think Jamaica has like special schools, but here in the US, like the special needs kids are able to go into schools with like regular kids. So they're interacting with regular kids and learning with the regular kids, which helps them a lot to, you know, be more open, not so shy and reserved as well. And it helps the other kids to understand, like, get an understanding of what it is that these kids are going through too. So.
It's the same here in Japan. They go to, well, for most part, they go to the regular elementary school, the junior high schools and stuff like that. And I've had the opportunity to work with some of these kids and stuff. So it's not bad. All right. So you said a library assistant and track and field coach. Now, which of these you enjoy more?
I think track more, but I used to love reading when I was a kid. So like when the opportunity came to work in a library, it's like, yes, I get books. I get to be around books and I get to like read and get lost in books like I used to when I was in Jamaica. Just climb a mango tree with a book and eat some mango and read.
I'm glad you're enjoying it though. I'm glad you're enjoying it. What is it like though, coaching a high school in America? And before you answer that question, I'll just, you know, give you an example of the situation here, and you'll understand why I asked that question. Here in Japan, kids have to do a club activity, right? They have to choose a club activity, whether they want to or not. So what you find is that about 80% of the persons on the track and field teams here don't like track and field. They don't want to become a pro. They don't want to really excel in it. They just have to do it. So they're doing it for the discipline, basically. Right. So coaching a track and field team here is not the easiest thing in the world to do because these kids are not focused. You know, so what are some of the challenges? How are you finding it there?
It's the same because they're hanging. It's like a after school hangout spot. So they hang out. There's like a few of them that really are interested in track and field and the possibility of getting a scholarship so that they're not in debt when they leave college. So that will cover college and just to enjoy it. But it's like I'm teaching high school kids stuff that they should have learned from their like 2, 3, in like stuff we learn in basic school in Jamaica. I'm trying to teach kids like hand-eye coordination, balance, and stuff like that. And it's hard, and then they don't pay attention. So you teach them the thing like 10 different times, and they still. I don't like yelling. I like keeping my little chill voice. So I have to like yell. I still see people walking on their heels. Dorsey's legs. So I have to be like watching from a distance and yelling. And then I don't have enough time to spend with each person individually so I can make correction. It's just that I have to just go through the flow. And if they get it, get it. It's not like in Jamaica where, you spend time with the kid to teach them the correct thing, and kids learn something, and it's just hard to change that habit. But I'm working on it. Okay. So hopefully it'll get better.
That's good. I'm happy that you're still involved in track and field, Aleen, because you gave so much to track and field as an athlete, right? And you're still giving more, Well, let's look at your early days, because you were a really successful high school athlete. All right, you agree. Right.
I tried.
That's right. Okay. You competed at the VMBS Girls Championships for quite a few years and getting quite a few medals in the process. What was it like competing in the national stadium with the fans, with the crowd?
Oh God, it's art. It's like music.
Yeah.
It's like the stadium. Yeah, it's just like you're at a concert, and you know the fans are pretty much you're performing, but the fans are pretty much like the music you hear. So it's like different school cheering for everybody, and it's just and the love that everybody have for the team that they're cheering for, or the person that they're cheering for, and like the energy they have, it just flows into you. So you want to, you know, perform well, and you want to shine, and you want to make everybody, because I mean, the entire country pretty much shut down for boys and girls champs, you know, everyone at work watching it. And so it's just like, and it's like for a while the country is one. Nobody's like fighting or anything like that. Everything is just chill, and it's boys and girls champs. You know, we're having fun. It was an amazing experience. I gained a bunch of friends that are pretty much family now from the experience competing and getting to know people. So it was good.
Okay. You never mentioned whether or not the fans were intimidating. You know, no, not really.
I mean, because I grew up with my brothers, so pretty much nothing scared me, because they prepared me for everything. So I wasn't allowed to be afraid of anything. I had to show like strength and confidence at all times, because I'm a girl, but I'm growing up with boys, so I have to be like a little boy, a tomboy. I was like a tomboy growing up, so nothing really scared me. So yeah, it wasn't intimidating. It was just a vibe. And then I grew up around my brother, who's a musician, so like everything, being around him, I turn everything into music. So even sounds and chairs, I turn it into music and just internalize it. So I still do that to this day. Everything I turn into music or a vibe and start dancing to it. So
okay,
yeah.
All right, good. Well, you mentioned your brother Capleton was probably one of the most talked about. He was one of the hottest reggae act during the 1990s and early 2000s. Those were the years you competed at championships in Jamaica. How did that motivate you? You know, his success, his popularity, how did that motivate you?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to have like the same level of love and adoration he gets. Whenever we used to go anywhere, and all the little girls, oh my God. Yeah. And then everybody else. I used to go to a concert, and I used to go to concert, and I would sneak, because they always have you backstage, but I would sneak around to watch him, and then being in the crowd and feeling how like the energy that he's giving and they're giving back. I was like, oh, cool. I want this too. So, and the confidence he had, like when he's on stage and performing, I was like, okay, so that's what I need to channel. So I always channel like his energy whenever I'm doing stuff. And it's cool growing up with a musician brother, and like I get to hang around with him and all his musician friend. And I think the only time I was starstruck was when I met Bunty Killer, because I love Bunty Killer, because Book 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 was my favorite song.
Okay, all right.
So it was good having. It's like it's just transferred to you, because you know you have someone that's successful in your family, and you want to be that successful.
I always really wanted to know how it affected you and how it motivated you. And yes, to be a singer in Jamaica, you have to be very confident. So I can just imagine, you know, the level of confidence he had, and how, you know, you picked up on some of that. All right. Yeah. So during the years competing at VMBS Girls Championships, what was your standout performance or your standout year, and why would you choose that year?
I can't pick any because all of them were so was so amazing. Because there's like things I accomplished that I didn't think I could, and it was so amazing. But I think if I had to choose, it would be my I think it's 1999 high school champs. It was a 4x1.
Okay.
And I was anchor leg, and we were like, San Diego had like a 10-meter lead on us. And like, I don't know what gotten into me, and I ran the girl down and nipped her on the line, and we won. Yeah, it was like a rivalry between Vera and San Diego. It was Vera and San Diego with the rivalry. So I was like, I had to like, do something outstanding. So that was my favorite thing, like just running down her and passing her on the line, because they were supposed to win and we were. So that was good. Yeah, that was a good memory.
That was a good memory. Okay, that was your last year of championships, was it? Yes, it was. And on a high. All right. And you did. For that year, you were also on the cover of the Champs Preview, the Boys and Girls Championships Preview. Yes, that you
made it when you made the cover.
Right. You're the top female athlete that year. Everyone is coming to championships to see you. But did that put any pressure on your performances, on you?
No, because I'm one of my best friends now. I still have her. I always have her at the meets, and she's always long jumping when we're running the 100-meter heats. So she always kept me distracted with stuff and not to worry about anything. And we were having and Elva Goulburn,
Okay.
She always kept me distracted because she's goofy and funny, and like we talk about, I was like, dude, like it's my friend, everything, everybody's expecting me to win. And she was like, yeah, you're gonna win.
Okay.
Are you stressing about? It's like, okay. And then she would just like give me like the talk and confidence. And I was like, and she was like, plus I'm gonna be in the race, so you ain't gotta worry about nothing. I'll make sure you stay calm. So I had her, and like we'll be dancing and doing all stupid stuff to get chill. So I carried that with me.
Okay.
It's good. Having her. And my best friend Saini, like both of them together just kept me calm and chill. So
okay. All right, good. So while you competed in your last year of girls championships, you were thinking about college and university and stuff like that, right? But how did you remain grounded, as a female athlete? Once you get success, it can really get to your head. You lose your focus. How did you remain grounded and remain focused?
The people around me, because my bonus mom, Miss Bailey, and Auntie Carmen, and then my mom herself, and then Timothy Spencer, like he was like always be humble in victory and gracious in defeat. So I always stick with that, because he always made sure I stay humble. He was like, do not be acting out around here. And then my friends made sure like I stay humble. Like they're like, don't be acting like you brand new and big because you're Aleen Bailey now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not Aleen anymore. You're Aleen Bailey now.
Yeah, they're like, you're still Aleen, and we will smack you back in shape. So my friends and my family, they made sure I stayed grounded and not. And I think the values my mom instilled in me growing up. So to not allow myself to make others feel small, just to always be humble and gracious and be kind, all the time. And, let anything get to my head to the point where I feel that I'm better than everyone. It's the people around you.
Yeah, good advice from them too.